following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey, I'm Christine.
Hi, I'm Jada.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit. And welcome back, everybody. Hi,
Christine,
Jada.
were you so nervous?
I was so nervous. Jada, didn't get here until fucking 2 seconds before we went on.
I know. I'm sorry. I was on a client call and I was trying to be like, oh, I gotta go. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, babe. I was talking to one of my besties. Remember my friend Dawn?
Yeah.
She moved to Florida. I haven't seen her in forever, and she called me. And I was chatting it up. And then all of a sudden I looked down and it was 3:53. And I was like, I gotta go.
I've got a podcast to do.
Yes. How's your week?
It's good. What is it? It's, you know what I will say, and maybe we can table this for a future discussion, but the matchmaking industry is crazy right now because it's an election year. So there's so much now tying to politics in matchmaking.
Really? Why? Because people don't want to date somebody who votes for this, or they do want somebody that votes like that. And that's really Phil is here this week. Hello.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of that, and it's just a crazy time. So this week is just very busy. But how are you?
I'm good. I've had a really long, exhausting week. Let's see if I can pull it up. I am getting these weight loss shots. That's not like the stuff that everybody else is getting.
God, you're always doing something that you never tell me about because you know I need it. By the way, I hope Jamie's listening or he'll listen to it tomorrow, but he's been doing training with me, and girl, I've lost 10.5 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
But I'm all the way down for a weight loss shot. Let's do that.
Well, I am down from when we had first started with Jamie. I think I am down 5 pounds.
That's good.
So since June, and this last week I started shots for, it's called lipotropic injections.
Okay, how much is it, and how do I sign up?
It was $60, and she has a mobile thing, and she came to my house.
Is it safe?
Yeah. It is. Let me tell you what it is. The benefits of it is burn stored fat. Oh, what is going on with my phone? It's burn stored fat, and the other thing is increases metabolism, and it improves the export of the toxins from my that is fat from my liver. It increases energy, decreases the feeling of hunger, nourishes my skin and nails and hair, and
do you feel like it's done that?
Sleep.
Do you feel like it's done that?
I got it done on, was it Monday or Sunday? I don't remember. It was either Monday or Sunday. So it's only been a handful of days, but yeah, I'm sleeping pretty good. I don't feel super hungry. Hmm?
You know, I'm all for it. Send me the details.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and we'll see if we can find a spa there, because you can get them at spas. You know, where you get B12
Oh
shots and stuff like that. I got a B12 shot, and look what it did. Can you see it?
yeah. I see it. It's so bruised. Can we
Yeah,
just
it's bad.
celebrate Phil, who just said we both look hot? Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
Woohoo, Jada and Christine, you're both looking hot. Thank you, Phil. You know, Phil reached out to me like a day or so ago and said that the link for his book
Yeah.
is up and running on Amazon.
Okay.
So I said, you missed the last show where we showed your book and
We
talked
did.
about it.
We
And
did.
I haven't finished reading it yet, but again, it's Heartstrings into Infinity, A Story of Eternal Love by Philip L. Kahn. And it is up on Amazon now. So y'all can check that out and get his book. And I'm so excited for him.
I'm so excited.
Me too. So yeah, the week's been pretty good. I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
You know, I'm just waiting for some shit to come through, you know, all this manifesting we do.
You know, I will say Mercury in retrograde is really retrograding. Like,
It is
I
really
do this every year, and I know that it's like I should know better, but
Well, do you remember when I said that the retrograde was going to cause people to try to come back into your life?
it's insane. Mm-hmm.
Every single day this last week, someone reached out to me. Different ones.
I'm not
All
surprised.
different. It was so annoying. I was like, what in the Mercury retrograde are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy. We love you too, Phil. We're super
we love
excited
you,
about your
Phil.
book.
Yeah.
We hope you become a bestseller.
Yep.
So we have a show this week that actually has a guest that showed up.
Woo! Although we know how much they love us, but
Right. Right. Well, I'm excited about our guest today. We are talking about taking your power back and how to forgive without losing yourself in the process. I love that. I love self-empowerment. So let me tell you about who's coming to talk to us today. Riana Malia is an accomplished transformative coach trained in Evolved Neurolinguistic Programming, quantum time release. I want to know more about that. Advanced trauma aware coaching. She empowers ambitious women to live a confident, trauma free life. Yes, go. With over 20 years of coaching experience, Riana has helped hundreds of women find true love, create personal and professional pivots, and overcome obstacles to help them live their best lives. Using her expertise in quantum biology and neuroscience, she's a smart, badass bitch. She helps successful, ambitious women tap into their unconscious minds to uncover and heal the root causes of their psychological, emotional blocks. Through her quantum pattern protocol, Riana offers a balanced and effective path to healing and growth, and she helps women achieve their goals one step at a time. She is a sunshine lover. She and her husband live in California, and she's often found at the beach with a glass of chardonnay or hanging out with horses. She's my new bestie. Let's bring on Riana.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Gorgeous.
Hello.
Look how beautiful you are. I didn't have a chance to compliment you before because I was late.
But
you're stunning.
She's stunning. Hi. Welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. We are so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here with both of you.
Thank you. So, you're the founder of Your Best Life. Is that right?
Your very best life.
Your very best life. Oh, can't forget the very, bitch, because we know we need every bit of it. So, I know more about this quantum thing that you're involved in.
Yeah. Oh, you cut out a little bit. Say that
Oh,
again.
yeah, I really want to know more about the quantum part of what you're talking about for your business.
Yeah, totally. So the work that I do is, if you think about a spectrum, right? So on the far left might be a psychiatrist, psychologist, medical doctor. On the far right would be like a traditional life coach. So the work that I do falls right in the middle. And the reason being is that I help you tap into your unconscious mind, which is these other 90% of you. So if you think about your body for just a second, everything from the neck up is our conscious mind, right? 10%. So that's our critical faculties, everything you know, all the things that make you successful and amazing. And
Thank you, Mary.
that's my mom.
Mary is sending you love and calling you a superstar. So
Oh, that's my mama.
I
Thanks,
love
mama.
it.
So everything you know, it's our goal setter, right? We use our conscious mind all day long. So if you think about that 10% as the neck up, the neck down, everything the neck down, the other 90% of you is the unconscious mind. So if the conscious mind is our goal setter, the unconscious mind is our goal getter. It's the general, it's the operating system, and it's the literal library of everything you've ever experienced in your entire life. Every thought you've ever had, everything anyone's ever said to you, every experience, good or bad, is stored at a cellular level, right? So what happens when that's not released properly, we see things like patterns and cycles that never get broken. One of the most common things my clients will come to me and say is, why the fuck do I keep dating the same person over and over again? Why do I keep dating my ex-husband in a different body? Like over and over and over and over again. So there's a very specific reason that happens. And so very early on, I will help my clients be able to have a precise process to stop that. So we were able to break those patterns. But back to the quantum piece that you asked about. Quantum time release is a multidimensional technique that's been used for decades. And what it really does is it heals those deep-seated negative emotions that are a result from all the trauma, right? Childhood trauma, loss, divorce, betrayal. I mean, if you've been on this planet longer than 15 minutes, you've had some trauma to some extent. And when we don't release that, in addition to those patterns and cycles, we see things like anxiety and depression and autoimmune disease and illness and disease and injury and all kinds of things that keep us stuck and blocked from stepping into our highest and best. So in quantum time release, we get to release the negative charge that's attached, that's built up and stored in our bodies at a cellular level of all of those decades of negative emotion. So we release it in a particular order: anger, sadness, fear, guilt, shame, and then all the limiting beliefs and limiting decisions that have formed as a result of all those traumas, which, by the way, are the driving forces that keep you stuck. So that regardless of what it is, right? So we get to release that. And I want to say that this is a completely unconscious process. Now, that does not mean that you're unconscious, right? You're conscious, you're in your chair, you're pretty zen and chilled out and relaxed, but you're listening to instructions, you're listening to me, you're following instructions. But when I ask you a question, when I ask you about a particular root cause of something, you're not remembering an event. You're not going back to the content. So it's content free in that the unconscious mind will tap into what it needs to know so that we get the learnings, so that we can transmute all of that, release it, future pace, and create a new relationship with those emotions going forward. So it's like clean slate, an energetic clean slate. And amazing, because like if you think about like a ribbon, well, I grew up in a horse barn, so I always think of twine. But like if you think of something, and anytime so I'm 48, so in my 48 years on this planet that I've experienced a significant emotional experience around anger, for instance, it's like a marble goes on that piece of twine or that ribbon or however you visualize it in your mind. So on August 15th, something pisses me off. It's not just the August 15th thing. It's the 48 years of marbles built up behind it, if that makes sense. So quantum time release gives us the ability to release all of that built up negative charge that is behind all of that emotion and all.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. We lost Rihanna for a second.
We did.
She's on her own quantum time release.
Oh, bless her.
Shoot, she froze.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. Hi, sorry, Rihanna, you just froze for a second. And if at any point that something happens, all you have to do is log out and click that link, and you'll come right back in. Okay. So
perfect.
Okay, so I love that. I love the concept of it. I love the idea of it. I really have always, well, not always, but in the last 2, 3, 4 years, I've been really developing my own relationship with different dimensions and timelines, and releasing negative past trauma, and learning to love myself and move forward. So that's what the show really is about, is to try to help people step into their best life. And that's why I thought you would be, perfect for today. When you say take your power back, without losing yourself, how to forgive without losing yourself in the process and take that power back. Tell us more about that journey and how people can find that.
Absolutely. So, and I'll share with you a little bit of my story around that. But before I do that, I just want to ask you. So if I say to you, like, I want you to think about somebody who's, done something to you that's really painful, really hurtful, betrayal, whatever. If I say to you, have you forgiven them? Like, what's your initial response?
Yes.
You have. Okay. And is there anyone that you haven't?
No.
What about you, Jada?
Yes and no.
Okay. So a lot of times when people hear the word forgiveness, the first thing they think is they don't deserve my forgiveness because they hurt me so deeply, or what they did was so, beyond imagination, right? And the other part of that is when we talk about forgiveness, oftentimes people think that means that we're letting them off the hook, or we're making it okay, or that if we forgive them, that means they get to stay in our life or get access to us in some way, or come back into our life, or have a seat at the table, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So I want to start by saying that is not what forgiveness is all about. Forgiveness is not about, doesn't mean that we're letting anybody off the hook. And it certainly doesn't mean that they get access or a seat at the table. What it does is that we are taking back our power. And what I mean by that is when we hold on to the anger and the resentment for what somebody did to us, right? Because they don't deserve our forgiveness, that energy and the memory of all of that and the negative emotions that come along with it, that's the stuff that's trapped in our body, right? Because memory is not in our brain, it's cellular. So the thing about that is that, the old saying, right? We drink the poison and we want somebody else to die. Hanging on to all of that energetically, it's from the inside out. And without forgiveness, that person has control over your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. And it doesn't matter if this person is alive or dead or across the world or down the street, right? So it doesn't mean they get to have access to you. And so when I talk about taking your power back, it's really, if you think about how much time when there's something that's happened and there's someone that's hurt you or whatever it is, and you're ruminating about it and you're thinking about it, or every time you do think about it, you spiral down and it sucks all this energy. So you're not able, it steals you of being present, steals you of your joy. It steals you from being able to manifest and call in the things that you want, because you're thinking about all the things that you don't want. And then that's where people go, why do I keep having the same circumstances and experiences? And that's the other thing. And I'm going on a tangent a bit, but thoughts are so critically important part of this conversation, right? Because as human beings, we think between 65,000 and 85,000 thoughts every day, which is wild. But 90% of those thoughts are recycled. And they're the same thoughts you thought yesterday, and the day before, and the week before, and the month before. And the things you think about in the middle of the week. But 75% of those thoughts are negative. And a lot of my clients will be like, nope, I'm a pretty positive thinker. But when we do an analysis, they're like, oh, right. Because
Ooh,
most
I want to do an analysis.
you're gonna
Of course you do.
So, because here's what people don't realize is that most of the time we're thinking about what we don't want. I don't want to feel this way again. I don't want to be in another relationship where I'm not valued and cherished. I don't want to be in this financial stress. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be, not valued and adored, like whatever it is. But here's the thing, you guys, universal law, the universe, our unconscious mind, it doesn't hear the clarifying word don't. All it knows is you're really fucking focused on all of this stuff. So we're just going to keep giving that to you, right?
Yes.
So this is the key, you guys. If you want your $1 million 5-minute, you want to change your life tomorrow, I want you to make 2 lists. I want you to write down everything you want. I want you to write down everything you don't want. When you're not feeling good, so this is something I teach my clients, this process, right? If you find yourself not feeling good, I want you to wear a rubber band for the next 3 days, by the way. And every time you find yourself in a space where you can feel it in your body, or you just know that you're yucky or you're spiraling, I want you to snap that rubber band, and I want you to snap it hard enough so it like hurts like a son of a bitch. So like when my clients will send me pictures, they'll have welts on their hands sometimes because they're snapping it so much. But here's what you will find. I promise you 99% of the time, you're thinking about something you don't want.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
You were saying the faster what?
The fastest way out of that, right? So when you have your lists, so when I teach this, I call it your away wall and your toward wall. So your away wall is everything you don't want. Your toward wall is everything you do want, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your desires, your goals. And ask yourself, like, what wall am I looking at? Or if it's not in the moment and you just notice you're just feeling yucky, like, what was I thinking about? And I promise you were thinking about something you don't want. So 2 things. Number 1, if it's as simple as like taking a screenshot, keeping those lists on your phone of your toward list, just like think about something you do want. Think about one thing that you're grateful for, the tiniest little thing. And if you're still feeling kind of, off, the very best thing that you can do is ask yourself, who can I serve in this moment? Right? And it doesn't have to be a big grandiose gesture. It can be a text to a girlfriend, like thinking of you, love you, hope you're having a great day. It could be, taking your neighbor's trash cans up. Like just do something for somebody else and get you out of your stuff. But
I love that.
It's one of the fastest ways to change your physical reality, which is everything in your life, because we manifest everything, right? Good and bad.
Yes.
But by changing the focus, it's going to change what shows up.
Okay. So Rebel said we have a caller question about what you were just talking about.
Amazing.
Okay,
let me see if I can make sure I get this right. They asked, if you're telling the universe you want anything, doesn't the universe make you keep wanting for whatever you're asking or you wanting? Just like you said, it doesn't understand don't. But I think they explained it, if you keep asking or wanting something, isn't the universe going to make you want it because you don't already know you have it?
So I'm gonna take some liberties here, and I think I understand what they're asking on the underneath that. And it's actually a really great question, because when I do this work with my clients, we'll create literally what I call create your menu. So we do a values elicitation, and we get really clear about what's really important to you, and then we reorder them. Then we create a non-negotiable list and a desires list. So all of that becomes your menu, because when we're talking about manifesting, when we're talking about transformation, when we're talking about dealing with the unconscious mind, what's really important to understand, you guys, is you have to treat it like a 5-year-old child. You have to be very clear and specific. When you're very clear and specific with your instructions with a 5-year-old, they want to please you. They're going to do their best to follow those instructions. When you're vague, or the instructions are hazy, or you're just all over the place, they're going to misbehave because they don't know what to do, right? The unconscious mind is the same. The universe is the same. So back to that specific question, here's how I want you to think about it. Yes, the constant like wanting and the wishing and the is that resistance energy of I don't have it. So here's what I want you to do. Anything that you want to manifest, I want you to imagine that we're going to dinner, right? Jada, Christine, the 3 of us are going to dinner, And we sit down and we look at the menu and we're like, all right, we know what we're going to order. We have a glass of wine. We're chatting. The server takes our order. Off he goes. And we're just enjoying our time together, right? We are not obsessing about, I wonder if the cauliflower that he's going to put in my roasted veggies is perfectly at a 90-degree angle. I wonder if my ribeye is going to be cooked at 512 degrees. I wonder if dessert's going to come out at 817 or 827. I wonder if I should go back in the kitchen and make sure that they washed this arugula 3 times. No. We place the order. It'll come out when it's ready, right? We don't sit and obsess about the how and the when. So, lovely caller, thank you for that question. To answer your question, place the order. Trust.
Trust.
Don't manage the outcome with the how and the when.
Right, because that's one of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is set and release. Set the intention, let it go, and know that it's already here, and then just let it happen. I don't believe that we continue to long for things because, like you said, our minds don't know the difference. When we say, ugh, I never get this, and I never, this is not happening still. If we're focusing on the negative, we're going to get that before we get the, here it is, it's coming, we've got this, because your people tend to go to the negative first.
Yeah.
It's just a regular, thing that people do. Yes, Matt. So we have, Matt says, oh, damn, you can just order stuff from the universe like Amazon? I think so.
It may take some time for shipping, but yes.
Yes, exactly. And don't go chase the FedEx driver down the street. It'll come when it's ready. But to your point, Christine, if I can just elaborate on that a little bit more, when I'm teaching manifestation and becoming a magnet for miracles, which is part of my core values of who I am, is that if you think about your physical reality as the cake, right? So if you bake a cake and it doesn't taste good and it doesn't turn out, what do you have to do to bake a better cake? Ladies, what do you?
Oh, you're asking us. Oh.
What are you going to do to bake a better cake? What do you have to
practice? Keep baking cakes.
Okay, what else?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look at what went wrong with this. Did I not put enough this in it? Did I not put enough that in it? Did I underbake it? Did I overbake it? What energy, what did I not put into it that was correct to make it work properly? Then I would keep practicing until I got it right.
Awesome.
But also, if you're following a recipe, did you follow the recipe? Did you maybe get sidetracked and do something maybe that you shouldn't have done? Or maybe you thought, you know what, I think it could use a little bit more vanilla. So you added more vanilla and it didn't go well. So did you really follow what you should have done?
Right. So if the cake didn't taste quite right, let's take a look at the ingredients, right? So if, as human beings, we are all governed by 4 states: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The physical is our cake. It's everything in our physical reality. Everything we can touch, taste, smell, feel, anything in our physical reality. So if something's off, we got to adjust the ingredients mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? So, and we can go, that's a whole nother conversation. But again, it's like getting really clear that you guys, we make this so much harder than it has to be. We really do. And there are ways
I think we do.
So when I talk about quantum in my work, like quantum pattern protocol, which is my IP, it's the framework for everything that I do. It's quantum because it's a process, right? It's a step-by-step process that I use with my clients, whether we're talking about love or up-leveling in career or just healing what needs to be healed so we can get unstuck. But the truth is it's about 8 to 10 times faster than any other modality in the world because we get to tap into this other 90% of you. So you do get to become, you have that mastery of mindset and manifesting so that you get to call in the people and the experiences and the resources, the opportunities that you want in your life instead of continuing more of what you don't want.
I love that. It does. It makes a lot of sense. I'm going to have Anastasia's question come back up because I want to discuss this because this is very, very much along the path of what we're talking about right now. So Anastasia says, does it travel at the speed of light or differently? If you wanted something as a teen, but still haven't gotten it, would you give up? Okay. The reason why I wanted to talk about this question is because there's a lot of factors that people don't know that they need to focus on. And I think that some people think, well, I just want it, so therefore it should come. And that's not how it works. So I use this analogy all the time. If I want to win the lottery and I manifest to win the lottery and I'm thinking about it and I'm doing it and I really want it, it's not going to come if I don't buy the damn ticket. Okay. If I don't buy the lottery ticket, then I'm not going to win the lottery. So here's my question then to Anastasia, I guess kind of like a thought, my thoughts, and then I'd like yours, Riana, is what is it that you've wanted and what have you done to get it? Like, have you just thought you wanted it and hoped and prayed that it would just arrive? And I don't mean that in a condescending way, because there are a lot of things that we think about that we want and think, well, I want it a lot. And, life is, just not giving it to me. I think, okay, when I manifesting for me is about what doors need to be opened to get what I want that I'm manifesting. I think, okay, so I'm manifesting money. Then I start going, all right, so if I'm manifesting money, where's it going to come from and how can I get it? Oh, I didn't send out invoices yet this month. I send out invoices and guess what? Money starts popping in. And it's about what are your actions to get what you want. Some people think that they just wish for something and they want it so bad. And I get that because I've been there my whole life. And then what happens is when I started manifesting properly, thinking about what it is that I want, I'm very specific now. A lot of people think, oh, I wanted this and that, but you have to be extremely specific when you're asking for something. You can't just say, oh, I want more money. Well, that could be $20. It could be $5. It could be $100. You have to start being very specific about the money you want. If you say, I want a man, I want a relationship, you have to be very specific about the type of man, the relationship you want, the type of relationship. So it's very specific that way. Anastasia goes on to say, I have been doing everything I can to have it. I have gotten close to my grip, but then it slips away. It's almost like a tease, or maybe I don't deserve it in any way. That's the least thing right there. Take that piece and throw it out the window. Turn that into garbage and throw it away because you are worthy. You deserve everything you've ever desired and wanted. So tell us, Riana, what's your thoughts on what this topic is right here with Anastasia?
Absolutely. Okay, so I wrote something down because I tend to start talking and then I forget the original question. But I have to say something about what you just said about the specificity. I'll tell you an actual real-time story. Today and yesterday, I had client sessions. Yesterday, my client's like, okay, so I was doing all the things you told me to do, and I forgot about the specific part because I said, angels, God, universe, like, I don't want to be alone anymore. So I was thinking about what I didn't want. So I flipped the script and blah, blah, blah. And she said, so I got home from work and there was a dog outside of my house and I couldn't find the owner's birthday. She was like, and I was hysterically laughing. I meant a man. So she got what she asked for. She was not alone. Like, but now I can't go out after because I have to hear this dog. So anyway, that was really funny. But so back, yes. Okay, so back to the real question. I love what you said about action. And there's a couple parts to that. So inspired action, 100%, right? Nothing happens without action. You're not going to just sit in your bedroom and have, a tea and say, I want this, blah, blah, blah to show up and it's going to show up in your driveway. It's not how it works. Specificity, clarity, actually feeling all, like giving it the energy and the emotion behind what it is that you want is critical, right? You have to feel what it feels like as though you already have it. So that piece of that is so important, right? When we talk about like neuroscience and quantum biology, like that part of it comes into play. So I want to tell you something. And again, this is something that I'm happy to share with anyone in our audience. She's better off with the dog. Maybe, Matt. It's
maybe.
One of the things that I do in my practice is something called quantum goal setting. So we reverse engineer your goals. So we start at the moment of completion, and we micro step back all the way to the date. So today I did this with a client of mine, and we did a goal that was far off. We did a goal for her that's December 31st, 2025 or sooner. And so that could literally be tomorrow, right? We always want to give the universe, sooner, better, more, right? We don't want to be capped. But so we did that. So then what happens is when we go from, so it's very different in the brain, and we tap into the unconscious mind and we use neurolinguistics and quantum linguistics, but we get to reverse engineer it. And it's a very different process than starting today and going, okay, what are my steps to create, to get there? So we also create smarter goals. Everybody knows what SMART goals are. I don't need to get into that, but we add to the end, the E and the R, energy and emotion, reverse engineering, and reticular activating system. So this, is a critical piece. So when we reverse engineer the goal, that's awesome. We have a blueprint. Anytime there's overwhelm or question, what do I do next? You literally look down and there you go. Then we take it a step further and we install that goal on your future timeline. And we do it in such a way that we make it a picture, and then we make it a movie, and we adjust the sound and the brightness, and you hear what you hear and you feel what you feel, and then we frame it and we drop it on the timeline. And I have crazy, insane stories that I could tell you of clients that have what's happened after we've done this. And you have an action plan, right? So it's not just wishing, but being able to have a framework to actually do that and then have it installed, because like you were talking about, the brain doesn't know the difference of if something actually happened or we have visualized it, but with all the emotion. And when we ignite that reticular activating system in the brain, then the brain is laser focused on always looking for the things, the resources, the opportunities to support in making sure that you achieve those goals.
Here, I guess here's my question to Anastasia again. When you say that you've gotten close and it just hasn't gotten there yet, are you feeling the emotion that Riana is talking about? Are you putting in the order and then knowing that the order is just going to come? Or are you still hesitant? Are you still doubting that maybe, because I hear a tiny bit of negative in the, she says, I could have done something in a past life that makes it get close and then it gets taken away. I actually believe in past lives, but I also believe that we have the opportunity to write ourselves, that this is the life that we figure out, that life is about joy and life is about love. And life is about fulfillment and not about how much money we make, where we go, what we do. And maybe, Anastasia, I can suggest, and maybe you guys can also, you're saying that Anastasia's saying, I thought I was doing everything possible. But are you believing? Are you truly, truly feeling in your mind, body, and spirit and soul? Are you feeling that it's here? Are you feeling the celebration of the actual fucking thing happening? Or are you still kind of wondering when it's going to come and still doubting? Do you know what I mean?
One foot in, one foot out. You have to believe as if you already have it. So you have to act as if you already have it. So if you want a closet full of ridiculously expensive clothes or a walk-in closet, then get rid of the things that no longer serve you. Or
make room in the closet for that.
Make room in the closet for things. Or if you want a beautiful, handsome, loving, just incredibly wonderful man, then you've got to stop entertaining men that were previously attached to you, because that's not creating the space for someone new to come in. So
really quick before we move on, Anastasia, if you want to send me a quick email, I can give you some really powerful manifesting ways that could speed that up. So reach out to me and I'll let you know. Okay. Here, hold on. Misty said, what if you finally got something that you wanted, that you were from your past? I'm assuming something you wanted in your past, but then what if that is not what you want now? What do you think about that one, Riana?
Well, Misty, I would be willing to wager that you were thinking about that thing of not wanting the thing. I suspect why you called it in. So
yes.
So again, like, we don't really realize how often we're thinking about the things we don't want, and then why those things keep showing up. It's like being stuck in the muck or in a salad spinner of muddy water. Like, I remember after my divorce like that, and I was like, how come I can't, like, I'm doing all the things I was told to do. I'm talking about it in therapy. I'm talking about it with my girlfriends. I'm reading the books. I'm doing the courses. I'm giving it time. And why do I keep ending up in the same place? Because I was thinking about all the shit I didn't want any more of, and again, whatever. And it's not just around relationships and love. It's around anything in your life. You know, it's just true. And I just want one little more thing to Anastasia I would like to offer. And it's just like those limiting beliefs for her, Anastasia, for you, are glaring to me. And I promise you that's probably what's keeping you from, when you're that close. It's the belief. And there's those beliefs that sometime between 0 and 7, you made a decision about something, that you had to be something or not something in order to get something or to avoid something. And it's the driving force that's keeping you where you are. And again, as Christine generously offered to share with you some powerful manifestations, I would also love to offer to have a conversation with you and see if it can help shift that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Anastasia, please reach out to Riana. If you want to reach out to me, I would love to help you, but I think that Riana could really put you in a good spot. No backsies. Yeah. Okay, Matt, you're so funny. I love Matt. He is amazing. He says, no backsies. We don't want anything from the past that we don't want.
That's right.
But I do believe clearing out the old and bringing in new thoughts. You could have I do like what you said, Riana, like, were you just thinking about it? Were you just going, ooh, I'm so glad I didn't get that because I didn't want it. And then all of a sudden, poof, there it is. It's kind of like this
10 years or whatever, right? It's like those thoughts, like something would be like, oh, but it's the focus, it's the thoughts, it's where it's what we bring in. And to your point about like cleaning out and clearing up and moving on, there's 3 requisites for change, right? You got to clean up the past, to get really clear about what you want, and you have to take inspired action, right? All those things that we
clear up.
Clear.
What'd you say?
Clear it up, get clear. Clear up, clean it up, get clear.
Clear.
And take action, right?
Clean up, clear. And yes, I take action. You know, we had talked about Mercury in retrograde and how last week I had told Rebel, be careful. This is a retrograde where someone from your past is going to try to come into your life. And she's like, oh my God, someone did. And then I was thinking to myself, I thought, oh, no one's going to come back from my past because, you know, they're not. Because I put energy in it in the tiniest bit, every single day last week was a different one. And they got worse and worse and worse popping up. And I just put zero energy into it. I was like, nope, nope, nope. Okay. I should have not thought about what I didn't want and should have thought about what I want.
What you did want.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I am writing my list. I wrote rubber band, okay? And I wrote what I want and what I don't want. And what I don't want has nothing in it yet. But I've got all these ideas of
I love it.
exactly what I've been manifesting.
I recorded a little mini masterclass teaching
Uh-huh.
that whole concept. I'd love to give it to the audience as a little
Oh,
gift.
yes.
Everybody can
Yes.
experience the transformative immediate results of implementing that.
Okay.
1 second, Jada. I have it right here. I will give it to you.
Oh, no.
Should I
I was just going to say, if I cut out, I can't find my battery charger and my laptop's
you're-
about to die. But
Oh,
that's
no.
okay. I'm still here. But it just if I disappear, that's why, because I can't find my
Okay.
charger.
So what is how can they get your thing that you were talking about?
Hold on. I'm going to copy it right now.
Okay.
And
We're
I'm
going to
going
scroll it and I'm going to read it before
Perfect.
we go.
Let me pop that in our private chat.
While Rihanna's doing that, to all of our readers who were here, our listeners, we want to promote our good friend Phil. He was on about a month or so ago, and he talked about his story of eternal love of his beautiful, wonderful girlfriend who passed away. And he wrote a book called Heartstrings into Infinity, a story of eternal love by Philip L. Kahn. And the link for Amazon is working now. So go check that out. Okay.
Awesome.
So,
and also just so you guys know, for ease, so in case people are like, can't write this stuff down. If you go to my Instagram, which is at Riana Malia, and you go, it'll tell you like Facebook and 4 other links. There's a Linktree link, and you can find all of the stuff all in one spot too.
So
I do want to say one more thing, if I can, before we're getting ready.
Of course.
Just because I feel like we started on forgiveness, and then the way that these conversations go are just perfect and exactly what we need. But I just want to remind people, if somebody was tuning in, like really looking for some forgiveness piece, and again, we can, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions offline, but I want you to remember something really important. And that's in any situation, there's always 3 people you have to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
The person or people that harmed you, the person or people that didn't show up for you or just do something when they should have, either before, during, or after. And most importantly, yourself. Always 3.
That's well said.
And the last one, the self part, always the hardest. Always the hardest.
Always the hardest. I also think it's the most important. It took me, I'm 56 years old. Okay. I'm 56 years old. And it's taken me this long to forgive all the people in my life who have done terrible things. And then to forgive the ones who didn't show up. Those were the ones I forgave first. The ones who didn't show up. Protect me. I then forgave the ones who hurt me. And I think the longest that it took was to forgive myself. And I think that was the most powerful one. I think that's the one where I find that I'm truly happy now because of that. So, before we run out of time, please go to rianamalia.com. That's hold on. I forgot how to spell your name. RianaMalia. So RianaMalia.com. Please reach out to Riana. You are amazing, by the way.
You're fantastic. Yeah.
And I actually
great energy.
I do say this a bit, and then people don't come back, but I really want you to come back. I really think that, we could talk more about. I know today we kind of moved a little bit more into manifesting and positive thinking and what you want to, in lieu of what you don't want. But I think forgiveness is a very big thing. And maybe what we can, not maybe, how about we have you come back and we actually break down forgiveness and how to actually do those steps, because I think those are very, very important. And we didn't get to them today. So I would love that. Maybe we can set you up for September if you have time.
That would be great. I would
That
be
would be
honored.
awesome.
Good.
Thank you. Rihanna, thank you so much.
Rihanna.
And to all of our listeners who come in with these hot questions and these amazing things, thank you so much. All these people listening, we love you.
We love
Jada,
you.
you're the bomb, bitch. I love you.
Oh, boom, boom.
All right, everybody. We're over our time now. Thank you for coming back every week. We're going to be same time, same place next week. Rihanna, thank you. We're going to have you back
Thank
next
you.
month. I'm going to stay online here. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you right after this.
Perfect.
And until next week, let's keep this shit real.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.